Well, good afternoon, and we're back to a before the bid, if you will, preview. And I tell you that the interest level that we've had, this will be our fourth one. We've actually been able to sit down and do, and so glad that this sale can actually be something that Savage Genetics is partnering with here on, and the Heimer Hampshires showcase the influence. Jesse had talked to us last week about doing this and was super excited to be able to offer a preview of this magnitude in terms of just being able to sit down and talk through a catalog and a sale that just got put up. I think that we're going to go over more lots than maybe what we have in the past with some, and I think that as people are starting to watch this video and start to see the relevance that the previews had. This is something that we sure are excited from KV to offer moving forward. And I think before we jump into the catalog, first we can just kind of click over to Jesse and kind of let him introduce himself, talk a little bit about the sale, and we can jump right into it.
Hello, fellas, and welcome to Before the Bid. It's a pleasure to join you online here to talk about our offering. This is the fourth annual Showcase the Influence sale. We've had a couple different variations of this. It started as a live event. Hello, Rooster. We've changed it to an online event. And as it stands here today, the only thing standing between Blake, Todd, and Brenda's cooking is some comments about this sale offering. So I'm excited to do that. We'll try to keep it as focused as we can and try to keep your attention here on a really incredible offering of crosses, purebreds, boars, open gilts, even some frozen semen. So Blake, I'm not sure how you want to roll with this, but I'm sure we can get right into it if you want.
Absolutely. We'll start here. The first one we're going to talk through, this is lot 1, 225-11 from Heimer.
Thanks, Blake. And yes, this is lot 1. And, you know, I think often when you get into an online setting and sale order isn't nearly as important as a live auction. And yet with that said, you always want to start out with something you're super proud of. And this young female is one. I always get such a chuckle out of Boots because a lot of folks don't realize that Boots isn't here at the farm every day. And when he shows up, it's always fun to get his pure reaction to the livestock around here. When Boots says, "What is that one and why are you selling her?" I usually know we're on the right track. And I can say that here about lot 1. She's an unashamed daughter. Her mother is a no intro shadow. And the one thing that you won't see here on screen is that the next generation is the gone viral sow that's been so influential for our program. And if you read down through the sale offering, you're going to see several sows that have that gone viral sow on the bottom side. Just give you one example, the Cantrell crew there in Oklahoma has purchased a couple of females now that go back to the gone viral sow that have been super influential for their program. This sow is bred to Logic. Of course, Logic is the Keplinger boar that's at the Threes there in Indiana. She's due in the 5th day of December. And as I like to tell people in this day and age, that farrowing date literally fits every show in America in 2026. So hopefully you see the opportunity here and the value to grab onto a young crossbred sow that's bred to a very popular young boar that's due in everyone's wheelhouse. Really like this opportunity and think she certainly has a lot of value. And now we're on to lot 6. And as you go through the sale offering, you're going to notice that we do have a few bred sows, and then we also have several bred gilts. And this offering is certainly dominated by the bred gilts. That's a little bit of a change from previous offerings, and I do want to highlight that. I also want to make sure that folks understand that this is not a live auction on Tuesday, the 25th. This sale will be held at showpig.com and will be a traditional online sale, except for a couple special lots, and Todd will get into that here in a minute. As we look at lot 6, this one's no doubt a highlight of the bred gilt offering. This is a direct daughter of Then and Now. That's, of course, the boar that was bred by Hofschultes. They kept some ownership there with Sloan and Hilty. We actually sold that boar in the Built the Brand sale, and he went to the Threes there in Indiana. This young female is bred to Outlaw, and I don't know how Outlaw hit a lot of folks in our business, but for me in particular, that was a boar that I really liked when I saw him there at Crossroads back in June. over the course there of what seemed like about 48 hours. All of us saw what felt like a couple hundred boars. And that was one that was memorable, and certainly one that I felt like we needed to inject into our crossbred program. We gave that boar a really good chance. In fact, this morning I was looking at Iggy's litter. Iggy would be the Cobb sow that's here. That's the mother of Sheridan. We bred that female to Outlaw, and I love those pigs in the crate. So this is a tremendous young female. I love the way we've got her mated. She really represents and exemplifies the best of then and now. She's got a great big rear leg. She's very heavy structured. She's got a stout skull. Her lines are great. Her elevation's on point. We've got her bred to Outlaw. She's due the 15th day of December. Really teed up for your success. As we move into lot 7, this is another one that the folks that have been through the last couple of days have certainly circled this one more than once. I know that if we had a bunch of the young bucks around here looking at them, they would gravitate to this one because of her extras. She's extra heavy duty. This one's got hair. She's very moderate. She's sired by Oreo. That's a boar that was at High Point. But I really want to focus on the sow side of this one. She's out of a roll call Goosebump sow that in 3 litters now has really elevated her status at the farm. This one came from her first litter. The kids have got a gilt from her second litter that's in their barn that they're going to show here at the end of the year, first of next year. And then from her third litter, we've kept a Kong son intact that looks like he's going to be a lot of fun over the next 100 days. So key sow on the bottom side, really love this bred gilt. Obviously, she's a calico. That's great for some folks, not so great for others. But if you forget about that and really recognize the quality of this one, love the upside here of this 49 litter. We've got her bred to Relentless. I think we had 2 or 3 litters of those this summer, and certainly saw enough to know what the hype was all about. That boar seems to have real staying power in the crossbred population, and love the opportunity here with 49.7 bred to Relentless and due the 5th day of December. The last lot I want to talk about here within this set of crosses is lot 10, and this is actually a choice lot. As you get to the auction site and look at this lot, I want you to pay attention to a couple things. First and foremost, this pair of sisters and their littermate brother, that was a bear that showed in California. That one looked incredible on video. That's a family that Perky was in touch with, and as that one got close to show day, certainly looked like one that could have withstood a lot of competition in the Midwest. This pair are sired by Wide Awake, certainly doesn't need an introduction. The bottom side, they're out of a sow that's had true staying power around here. She would have had the Reserve Grand Bear at Ohio a couple of years ago. And while that's important, what might be more important were the 2 sisters to that one. One of them is doing incredible things here. She would have had the 5th overall at the Iowa State Fair this summer. 4th overall in the 4-H show at Iowa. The other one's working hard at True. And I just want to highlight that because these 2 gilts would be maternal sisters to those sows and really represent this sow family. And then I'll round that out by explaining that both of these are bred to Tough. Of course, that's the Kong son that we kept, that we used extremely hard here at the farm. We offered some semen back and built the brand. And outside of our litters, the litters at Ally Genetics there with Weston Charles and the handful of doses, this represents really your only other opportunity to use to get those Tough genetics. So, I'll tell you, these 2 gilts are very young. This is about as young of a bred female as we've ever offered. But we had them back here at the farm. We got them bred and really wanted to give folks a chance to tap into this sow family and an opportunity to farrow litter out of Tough. Both of these are due there mid-January. And again, if you're a family or an operation that was competitive this fall, you understand that mid-January pigs are probably what you need for those shows in September, October, and even November. So that's the reality we live in. I think these 2 are certainly teed up for your success, no matter which way you look at it. And, there's certainly lots of other things we could talk about here in the crossbred offering, but wanted to highlight a few of those lots that we think have extra value within this set.
Just want to jump in right there to make sure everybody understands here. Reading through this is choice of 10A and 10B, correct?
It is. It's choice. We don't want to sell them both. We're going to let buyer pick. You'll note that the due dates are very close. They're bred to the same boar. And as I said in the footnotes, ultimately it might come down to whichever your color preference is, but a really neat pair of females with the right kind of pedigree, bred to the right boar. We're going to flip here into the purebred offering, and we're going to lead off the Hampshires with one that I think is extremely special. I suspect the older Indian here of the pair might have some comments as we get into the way this one's mated. But this sow around here is affectionately known as the bunt sow. We don't name our sows like our friends in Newcastle, but this 313-5 was the reserve Hampshire gilt at the Expo and the reserve Hampshire gilt at the Summer Spectacular, both for the bunt family. She's a Ghost Rider on the top side, Lion Share on the bottom side. If you go a step further, that range horse sow on the bottom side was very influential around here. This sow's done an awesome job, and I tell you, most importantly, she's incredible in the crate. She will raise a lot of pigs, and in fact, if your Duroc or your crossbred or whatever special sow next to her can't get them all raised, you can count on this one to do her job and then some. The special part about this opportunity here is she's bred to Hairy Bear, and I want to give Todd a second here to interject, but we're only offering, I'm going to call it 1.5 opportunities here to obtain a Hairy Bear litter. We've got some on the ground. We had a couple litters here in our last crop. There's a lot to love. There's a lot to get excited about. And I'll let Todd here make a couple comments on this mating to this bunt sow.
Yeah, obviously, as Jesse alluded to, you got a very, very, very good special female in her own rights. But having the opportunity to have a litter of Hairy Bears, I'm just going to tell you, I think things looks very, very promising. We've truthfully been very stingy with that, so to speak, and it's been made available a few times. We're excited about the people that's been able to utilize it and get some of their sows bred. I can tell you, just as what Jesse alluded to, Donnie is one that doesn't get excited about much. And, obviously it was funny that yesterday we had a chance to spend some time together and go through and talk. And it wasn't very many moments that didn't go by that the conversation of the Hairy Bear pigs come up. And, just what we seen a few there late there in our season. We didn't get the boar going early. And, the pigs that's hitting the ground now, I mean, they look very, very exciting. So
this one's due early. She's due early December. And I would just advise, whoever's buying or paying attention here, make sure you've got a crate ready and you're ready to roll as soon as she hits the highway. Tremendous opportunity. Again, that's 313-5, the bunt sow that found the backdrop. She's bred to Hairy Bear and due December 1st. So we roll into the next lot. This is where I talked about sort of a half opportunity to Hairy Bear. And this is a really intriguing opportunity, the classic example of mother or daughter. 17A here is the original Meeker sow that we bought in the exchange. She was offered up by the Meeker firm. She's a litter mate to trade it up, but she goes back to the Cherokee Lady clone. And I think that was obviously where my initial intrigue came in, and certainly what still offers a lot of value going forward in terms of our Hampshire genetic pool. This one is bred to Hairy Bear, and she's due December 5th. And I'll just say two things about this sow. First and foremost, the Lion Share son that sold in the draft this year to Southern Gold really represents the generating power that she has. And then beyond that, we've got a young Core Power son that we raised this last go, a 337 litter pig that looks very promising. I sent a Snapchat to Todd the other day, and I'm not sure if he shared that with Donnie or not, but we're very excited about that one and certainly feel like he will continue this sow's legacy both here and in the Hampshire breed. 17A, again, is the mom. As we flip to 17B, this is her daughter. And as I just mentioned, we offered that Lion Share son in the draft. He landed at Southern Gold, and we certainly appreciate Bill's continued support. This would be his sister. This one is an outlier. You don't have to look very hard into our program to just see how impactful lion's share females have been. This one's a lion's share on the Meeker sow, and we've got this one bred to 345. And again, if you've been under a rock, maybe you haven't heard about 345, but this is the only litter in the sale that gives you a chance to use 345 or to obtain sort of his influence from a litter standpoint. She's due the middle of December. She looks incredible. She really represents both sides of her pedigree, and I think this is a great opportunity for the buyer to decide mother or daughter, hairy bear or 345, Meeker sow or lion's share daughter. Tremendous opportunity here in lot 17. Next, we'll get into, I just really want to talk briefly here about a couple of the bred gilts that I certainly think deserve a little more attention. This is the 374 gilt. She's a 345 daughter out of Tripod's sister. And if you get on the site and look at the sales site, you will see the picture of this one's mother. And there is no question, in her time, she was the most impressive sow in the dirt pens on the hill. She'd be a litter mate to Tripod. This gilt's sister was the champion Hampshire gilt at the Western Regional. And somehow she managed to find her way to Newcastle. And those boys have probably got her tucked in the back 40 somewhere. But this would be the sister to that one. She's a 345 Top Gun. So she's very line bred. We've got her bred to Salute. Of course, that's the 345 son there at Premium Blend. If you're following along here, you're going to have several shots of Top Gun, a couple shots of 345. We've got her due the 5th day of January. And, I know there's a lot of folks around the countryside that need pigs after the 1st day of January. And I think this certainly provides a great opportunity for that. Lastly, here in the Hampshire offering is lot 21. And I really want to highlight this one. This one's actually a full sister in blood to the champion Hampshire gilt and 3rd overall at the World Pork Expo this year, shown by Maya Holderly. Naturally, that sow is now in the Danner Livestock sow pens, but this would be a full sister in blood, same sire, litter mate sows. Two really important things to know here. This the sow on the bottom side originated from the Drake herd, and we have historically been really big fans of Drake's program. Those Hampshire females have been awesome for us. They contribute. They do their job in the crate, and rest assured that if you tie into this one, you're going to have that advantage going forward. The second thing that I want to point out is you've got a 345 daughter, and we haven't really been very forthcoming with those. We've kept those pretty close. If you look through the sale offering, you're not going to see very many. We just don't sell them very often. But we've got this one bred to Salute. This will be a line bred 345 pedigree. That's the board that we sent to Premium Blend. And I know, talking to Jake, he was used far and wide, and we expect to see a lot of his progeny hit the ground right now, and we'll see him this summer. But a great opportunity here to have one related to Maya's gilt at Expo, bred to Salute, due the 10th day of January. And it looks like we're going to talk about Berks next. And as I wrote the footnotes, actually, I'll go back. As I look through this set of pictures and talk to the guys, we have never offered a set of Berkshires that have this much quality, this much depth of quality, and this much consistency. And I say that at a time when the Berkshire breed is arguably more competitive than it's ever been. You can go to nearly any show in the country, and you've got to have a pretty incredible Berkshire gilt or Berkshire barrow to get out of breed. And then if you get out of breed, you've got an incredible shot to make the top 5 or to even be considered there in that top pair. And it's taken that breed. I mean, Todd could talk for hours about the sort of the transition of the breed and the climb that they've been on to a point now where they're accepted as elite livestock, and they are accepted as a breed with popularity. And I think maybe that's why there's a lot of folks around the breed that are frustrated with some of the decisions that have been made. We'll leave that for another conversation, but I do want to make sure that folks know that despite the changes in the breed, there are still lots and lots and lots of opportunities to show them. There's still plenty of demand to sell them. And more than anything, they're still a breed that we really enjoy having on the farm from a production standpoint. They breed, they farrow, they raise pigs. They're hardy pigs that are certainly tough enough for any environment. And I think that alone makes it a breed worth raising. And we're going to kick it off here with an oldie but a goodie. This is 115-9. She's a Van Halen daughter. Some of you that are new to the breed maybe don't remember Van Halen, but that was one of the extreme breeding boars that the Mock boys raised there in Indiana. He was pretty out there, and we used him on the matriarch of our program, 379-12. That's the outside the line sow that really has infiltrated not just our program, but I would argue the entire breed. When you think about her sons and grandsons and daughters and granddaughters, folks maybe don't realize that Mama Tried's mother was out of that same sow, and then in effect now To the Moon and his progeny all trace back to that original sow. This is a direct daughter. She's the mother of B23 that we'll talk about at length in this sale, in this Berkshire offering. We've got her bred to Moonwalk there at Premium Blend, and she's due the first day of December. As I mentioned, just a fair warning here, our Berkshires tend to farrow on day 112 or day 113. Do not delay in your plans to get this one to a crate. She's got a belly full of pigs, and she needs to find a crate somewhere soon to have this incredible litter out of Moonwalk.
Jesse, I'd like to just interject right there. I think when you talk about this particular offering, and for those of you out there, whether you're young in the business or experienced, like this particular female here, not only in terms of her build and her kind, she represents actually a total program. And I think that if you had interest in a Berkshire female to get you a litter and say you wanted to keep the gilts and move forward, I would encourage you to call and talk to Jesse about this. But when you look at the pedigree alone and think about the influential stockmen that are behind the people that put those together, those pedigrees together, such as Van Halen, the outside the lines, you go back as far as the two-tone. And then obviously this this sow is carrying a litter of Moonwalk. And that boar is another one that come from our friends at Ward's. When you take all of it together, some of the most dynamic Berkshires that are made today, and it doesn't matter if they're Berkshires or just good stock, are made by some of the people that represent what comes in lot 26.
Thanks, Todd. And, we could talk at length about her kind, her color, her character, and her pedigree. And I think you just highlighted the fact that, somebody that really wants to get into this breed or wants to continue to evolve in this breed should pay attention to the opportunity here with 115-9. There's only a couple sows represented in the Berkshires, but there's a whole set of bred females that I think really have high ceilings and can really offer a lot to the breed. This is a top hand daughter. When you talk about some of the, the really popular Berkshire sires here in the breed, top hand, no doubt, really influenced Berkshires and made them better. This one's out of Slim Chicken's mother. And if you look a little further into the pedigree, you're going to find 21-2, and I'll give Todd the credit here on this one. That was an outside the line sow that came in the MB Berkshire dispersal there in Texas. I remember talking to Todd. He made it very clear that there was a bred sow in that batch that needed to be bought, and she has been absolutely incredible for our program. I could talk for the next 10 minutes about just her direct progeny, not just what her daughters and granddaughters have done. So this is a chance to get a granddaughter. This one's bred to B23, the henhouse son that I just mentioned. B23 is out of that lot 26 sow. So as you pay attention and really study your lesson here in the Berkshire offering, please know that all of this is very interconnected for a reason. It's intentional that we've mated these the way we have. A great opportunity here to tap into a different outside the line sow family on the bottom side, but keep the arrow going straight here with this mating to B23. Lot 31 takes that a step further because we're going to talk about that 21-2 sow here on the bottom side. This is a direct daughter. We have, I think maybe to date, we've maybe sold one direct daughter, and that's the one that Alec Atkins has there in Illinois. That'd be the mother of the Unger Gilt that did a lot of winning this summer. This one would in effect be a maternal sister to the sow at Atkins. This one's out of B17, and that's a mama tried son. 21-2 would be the mother of the Champion Burke and Grand Overall at the Southwest Regional. She's also the mother of the Champion Burke and 5th Overall Barrow at the Indiana State Fair. And I just tell you both of those because we're in a time when Berkshires, don't just win their breed. They literally have a shot to win the show. And it's almost a given that they have a shot to be in the top 5. And this sow on the bottom side here has done that not just once. She's done it twice. And she's also done it in the gilt ring. And that's a testament to her pedigree, her potency. And you're tapping into that here with this lot 31 1-8. This is another one we've got bred to B23. Again, that's a hen house son out of the lot 26 sow. This one's due the 12th day of December and really represents a tremendous opportunity to have a direct daughter of 21-2. Rounding out the Berkshire set, and again, literally I could have talked about every one of these in some form or fashion. This is 5-6, and this is another top hand daughter. She's out of a House of Cards sow on the bottom side. And if you take it a step further, you'll see her grandmother is 379-10. And yes, that's a sister to 379-12. This is actually a littermate sister to the Reserve Berkshire Barrow at the National Western this time. We've had a really good run in the Berkshire Drive there in Denver over the last 5, 6, 7 years. And this one's brother was reserved this year. Again, we're talking about top hand, a boy that was at 66. He's now at Southern Gold. But that board did a really good job for our program. And we've got a set of females to prove it. We bred this one to Rule the Roost. And I want to take a quick second here to remind folks, Rule the Roost was our top selling pig here at the farm in 24. Our buddy Platt bought him, drew him up there at upper hand, committed to the boar. We stayed committed. A year ago, we sold a bred female in this very sale for $2,200. $2,200. Our buddy Platt bought her. She farrowed. He sold $7,500 worth of pigs in her litter. One of those that was purchased by the Everhart family ended up, she found the backdrop in Louisville, but her biggest win was Champion Berkshire and Reserve Overall at the famed Indiana State Fair on the dirt. After that show, they sold her in Platt's open gilt sale for $35,000. And oh, by the way, the buyer doubled down and took the original sow for $35,000 for a grand total of $70K. And just a week ago in the all-in bred gilt sale, Platt sold another Rule the Roost daughter out of that same litter for $17,000. We haven't spent much time here talking about ROI, and I don't want to go into any more detail than I already have, but this sale truly represents a chance for ROI. And that one a year ago was certainly very affordable. I suspect a handful of these will be more than affordable. You've just got to be paying attention and ready to pull the trigger. Again, this is 5-6. She's bred to Rule the Roost. Again, the same sire of that litter last year, due the middle of December. Todd, you're making notes. Do you have something to say?
No, I do think that people recognize an ROI and the opportunities is very, very important. And I think a lot of times, we don't follow through. Many people from a breeder's perspective or whatnot don't actually give enough testimony or examples of how some of the customers have got along. And I think that's something that really needs to be brought forth.
Appreciate that. As we move into the Durocs, we don't have a big offering, but we have some key females that I want to talk about. First up here is lot 38. This would be a littermate sister to Burnin' Roses, which means she's out of the very first litter of 381-8, which is the sow that we sold in the exchange a couple of years ago, and we now partner with Eubank there in Indiana. 381-8 is the mother of 305, and that's the sow that really just keeps on giving. This one's bred to Double Shot. That's the Stewart boar that's at Beck's. Really, really liked that boar and felt like he had some pieces that were very complementary to this particular sow family. The boldness, the spread, the chest, the body cavity that one had, I felt like were really complementary for sows like this one. This one's got all the crazy hair, the shag, the foot hair, as they like to talk about it around here. She's got it. We've got her bred to double shot due the 5th day of December. Again, this is Burnin' Rose's sister, 383-14. The other one, red one we're going to talk about here is lot 41. This is a daughter of D23. D23 is a Statement Day son back out of his grandma that Jordan Leatherman bred. We had him here at the farm, used him on this Red Kingdom sow that originated from Mosteller. This gilt would be a maternal sister to the Statement Day gilt that was reserve red and 3rd overall at Indiana State Fair a couple summers ago. Now, I think what makes this one special beyond her pedigree is that she's bred to No More Tears. And that's the boar there at 333 that would have sired arguably our best litter this summer. That litter would have included the Murphy Barrow that won the purebred show there in the Open Barrow show at Missouri. He also was the champion red in the FFA show. The sister is the one Max showed. She was champion red and reserve overall in the purebred show at Missouri State Fair. That was a phenomenal litter, top to bottom. We kept a littermate boar. We kept a couple sisters. I really like No More Tears. I think that's a great mating here on this lot 41. She's due right there at the end of the year, December 26th. Last but not least here amongst the bred females is our lone entry in the TAM department. This is 15-13. She's a Tater daughter. We've got her bred to Marco. That's a boar that we used here last crop, and he's now at Premium Blend. He's a Tallman bred boar. This is a really, really neat sow. She looks the part. She does her job. She's really incredible in the crate. A year ago, much like the Berkshire situation I just talked about, we sold a TAM female. I believe she brought around 2,400. Eubank bought her. She had a great litter of pigs, and one of those Barras ended up champion TAM Barra there in the drive at the expo this summer. That was a good pig. Paint him any color you want. That was a good pig. He won the TAMs. We've got this one teed up for the same kind of success. She's surely capable of cranking out something that can be very competitive this summer. She's due the 2nd day of December to Marco. I'm going to have Blake click through these boars pretty quickly. I don't want to get into great detail here about each one, but I want to let folks know that we are offering a couple Hampshires, a Berkshire, and a Duroc herd boar here for your opportunity. These are boars that we really believe, and the reason they're in here, they're too good to send down the road. They are too good to not have another chance somewhere where they might see more sows. There are no restrictions on semen sales. There are no restrictions on what you can do with them here going forward. They are your opportunity for your program. With that said, HH will stay on the pedigree for future use, and we are reserving the right to 20 doses for the lifetime of each boar, no matter when or how long they stay in use. We just like the opportunity to use them and access them, and of course, pedigree litters out of them if we should use them. The first one here is 315. This is a Roar Eduardo. We've got a couple really, really, really good gilts out of him at the slap barn. This is a boar that sort of landed in the rotation at the same time with the Tripod Sons, 345. We just prioritized, I guess, a few other boars, and he never really got the bigger chance that he deserves. But this is an incredible boar that deserves to see more Hampshire sows. The other Hampshire boar that we'll talk about here is Rumble Strip. This is the boar that was champion at the Missouri State Fair. Certainly didn't expect to find this one when I did. He's a Rumble son. He's a bullseye chatter on the bottom side. He would have sired the reserve Hampshire gilt at the expo. That same gilt was champion and 3rd overall at Team Purebred. Again, we've got a couple sons. We've got a covey of daughters. This board's done a great job for us, and we certainly believe he can contribute elsewhere. On the Berkshire side, we're offering Slim Chicken, and this is a boar that literally saw nearly every Berkshire sow on the farm for about the course of 6 months. Armstrong's used him Lanes used him. This boar found some sows in a few other spots. Impeccable, incredible skeleton. This one was built for speed. We're offering a maternal sister to him in the bred sale, or the bred portion of this sale. If you go a step there into the bottom of a pedigree, you're going to find that 21-2 sow that I've already talked about. This is a hen house son that is very fertile and has a lot to offer the breed. We've just pretty well maxed out his use here in our program. We'll round it out here with D311. And this is a boar that phenotypically we could probably keep using him. Genetically, he is so closely related to nearly everything we have. We really believe this one deserves a chance in some other Duroc operations. He's a direct son out of Statement Day, and then out of his great-great-grandmother on the bottom side, which is the original brake light sow. The littermate sister to this boar is visually probably the most, I shouldn't say probably, she is visually the most impressive Duroc sow we have in the sow pens currently. And that sow would be the mother of our reserve $60,000 boar at the Summer Type Conference this summer that is now at Shipley's. They named him Storm. He would be out of this boar's sister. Again, a great chance here to tap into our Duroc program and use a boar that deserves more chances. Last but not least, I want to walk through really quickly our open gilt opportunities. The first one I want to talk about is lot 47. And this is a chance to buy choice of a pair of gilts that are both out of 345's littermate sister. 345's litter was all males except for one. And that one sow, 34511, has done an awesome job around here. In fact, she had hairy bears the last time. And Todd and I will probably have to have a long talk about what we're going to do about that boar pig. But we're offering a chance to buy a daughter out of this sow. You can choose between the 349 sired gilt or the alpha sired gilt. And again, we're going to offer one. We'll sell choice. You don't get them both. That's lot 47. Lot 49. This is the Duroc open gilt lot. And again, these are 5 gilts that are currently at our slat barn. We don't have pictures. We don't have videos, but we do have pedigrees. And if you pay attention to paper and you're curious about how they're bred, do your studying. But rest assured that it will take you a minute to decide what you're going to do. And I don't say that lightly, but these are incredible Duroc gilts. Carl and I talked about this. If the buyer decides they want 2, we would consider letting 2 go. But these are very good females. In fact, I know there's a sister to our Louisville boar in there. I know there's a sister to the 387 boar that we were planning to keep, or the 386 boar we're planning to keep. These are good. These are very, very good. And we're talking about mature open gilts that are ready to breed. We're not talking about show gilts, but these are ready to go. Lot 52. Blake, I'm trying to remember here what we're talking about on 52.
I think that's the pick of your inventory at the slat barn.
Okay, yes, thanks. So there are 2 crossbred opportunities here. 52 represents a chance to go through all of the mature gilts. We're talking about gilts that were born in January, February, March, even into April. And those are gilts that you could go grab one now, and chances are you can breed her as soon as you're ready to start breeding again. Those gilts are mature. They're ready. There's blue ones, there's belted ones, there's off-belted ones, there's chromes, and there's a lot of variety on pedigree. But lot 52 represents your chance to pick out of all of those crossbred gilts that are mature and ready to breed. Lot 53, 4, and 5 represent a different age and your chance to pick first, second, or third in those gilts. And the reason we've got it set up this way, these gilts really represent the ones that you might want to pick out and show at the expo. You might want to pick out and show at the revival out west. You might want to pick out and show at whatever show you have in your sites in April, May, June, July, August, who knows? But these are effectively the gilts that were born in May, June, July, and beyond. These are the younger ones. Obviously, whoever buys the second pick will have to wait until the first pick is taken. But these gilts are at our slap barn, and you'll get a chance to go through them all and take your pick. We've done this in the past with a lot of success. So I'm going to wrap up by saying this. We're really proud of the set of females we've got. We think we've got a neat opportunity here on the boars and the open gilt picks. We will add some frozen semen between now and sale day, but we certainly appreciate this opportunity to talk about the offering, and I'll be ready to interject here when Todd gets through talking about his.
Well, thanks, Jesse. And obviously, from Savage's point of view, I think Jesse said this is the fourth one, and we've been blessed to be a part of all of them, I guess, in terms of the HH influence, and that's that has played a very, very vital role for us in the success that we've had here at Savage with the Hampshires here for the last couple of years. And even with that said, I think it even holds true as we look into the future and what we're going to continue to do. And I think it can, you'll pick up even more of that as we go through this offering. But to tell you about the Savage offering, we're offering three sows, three proven sows to you that represent some different things, and I'll go through those with you. There is 3 Hampshire gilts, bred gilts that I'll just be real honest with you. I'm not sure why we're doing that, but at this stage of the game, but we have 3 bred gilts on here that I think really represent our program, what we've been able to do and what we've been able to achieve through success at this point. And then we'll touch on an open gilt or 2 here in a moment that is some special lots, but we'll kick it off here first here with lot 101. This is Diamond. You'll see me refer to ours as names more than Jesse does with all of his air notches, but we can't read all of our air notches from time to time, so we just name ours. But this is the sow we bought. She originated from Danner Livestock. I bought her at Louisville back in 22. And I found this one, thought I could pill her out of there not for nothing. I think she was 7th, 8th in her class. I loved her in terms of moderation, width, power, everything that I like. And later on, I think she ended up costing me about $8,000-9,000 to get it. But it was a great investment. You can see here she's sired by Well Aware. Her mother is a rising star, and that kind of gives you a different pedigree on the bottom side of her. And that's been something we've tried to work with and work around utilizing her to this point. But she's been just a fantastic female for us from a standpoint of a pig raiser. She breeds, she farrows, she recycles, breeds back, and that's so important for what we do. Maybe even compared to many of you others there, they have to stay in rotation for us, and this one has done it. Her daughters we see doing the same thing. Her resume is quite long from a standpoint of what she's been able to achieve. She's the mother of Maya Holderly's Barra that was grand overall there at Perry there this last year back in January. And then she followed up there this summer with a pig that we had sold there at Winning Tradition that went on to win the Kentucky State Fair. And then I know I was looking at her resume even prior to that as we was getting this sale together. She's had banner getters at both Western Regional and Eastern Regional as well. We have a slew of daughters, but the highlight daughter that we have of hers, the one that we'll build on and go forward, is the one we refer to as Maya. And the sow's done a remarkable job for us. She's youthful. She looks just like she does in that photo. You would think she's a bred gilt if you walk out there and look at her. Great toe quality. Her pasterns are awesome. I mean, she stays in the right shape from a body condition standpoint. And, I could talk and on and on and on about her. What I'm going to tell you is if you're serious about making them and making progress and doing it quick, you can do so. It doesn't hurt. She is bred to 345. Jesse alluded to early. those things has not been readily made available to everybody in the country. You can get you a whole litter of them right here. The next one will be one of the most painful ones I'll have to talk about, and this is lot 102, and this here is a gilt here. She's sired by the ice cold boar. We used that boar. He stands at Shipley's, and that is a boar that he was sired by ice, and then his mother was actually a Top Gun female. And herself, and he was raised by the Forest sisters there in Ohio. And I seen that boar on a trip when I was at Randy's, and man, I tell you what, that boar really intrigued me. Just in terms of moderation and stoutness, and I thought, man, we've got a key female that I want to breed him to. And we did just that. And the mother of this one is a sow that we refer to as Jackie. And that is the most influential litter of females that we've ever raised. Those are some hands down sows that went back on 7310. That was a sow that I got at Earnhardt's when we first started this deal. And there's a bunch of really good stuff laid back in the pedigree there. But we've never sold a female out of Jackie. I think we've kept, I have no idea how many of them we've kept, but nearly every one of them. And this was a remarkable litter. There was of the ice coals. We've got several of them. We've got the first ones have already actually been in the crate that's in there now. I know Pharaoh in here in the last week or so. And then we have a few of these that's even in the group. But there was 8 or 9 of these gilts in the litter. This one here is extra special. Her litter mates were good. We had a Barrow-Wind Coba, our reserve champion bear there at Oklahoma City there this year would be a litter mate. Another bear actually went on and showed later in the summer for Kyle Hicks and his family that ended up, I think, 3rd or 4th overall there in the Pure Influence there at the expo. But the bears were remarkable. The gilts are great. I love the pedigree. I would challenge you that the mother of this particular female is about as good as you can have. She actually is the mother of Smoke Signal as well. I could go on and on and on about it, but we'll leave it at that. The key element right here, I think, is talking about the buying opportunities. You got 4 options here. First off, when we sell this one here, you are buying the litter that Jaylee is carrying, and so the high bidder will get the entire litter. So if she has 3 pigs or 13 pigs, they're yours, and you will own all of them. So we will get them farrowed, we'll get them weaned for you, and then you can get them when they are ready. At that time, they're yours to do what you would like with. You are buying A, and you will pay 100% to get that litter. B is an option that you pay 75% on. That will allow you to come and you get the pick of that litter. So if you're looking for an elite Hampshire gilt to show this year, or if you maybe want your next boar prospect and you just want to pick the litter for 75% of that bid price, you get that. We did go ahead and put option C in for those of you that are investors. We did that there in the exchange this year. That's going to turn out very good for the guy that purchased that. You pay 60% of the bid price, and we will keep these. We will market them. We'll sell them. Savage will take care of them. Well, just like they're ours and everything like that. And then we're going to split the proceeds of what those animals do from that entire litter. So we give you different options there. And then I'm going to discourage you, but we went ahead and put option D in there. You have the option. The high bidder can double down, and you buy Jaylee and you own her. And I'm just going to tell you can move forward in the Hampshire breed. So that's lot 102. 106 here. This one here is one we call this one Raina, and this is a very cool story on this one. I mean, in terms of representing our program, this one here, it's a For starters, I'll just tell you, she would be Indian Feather at Schaefer's Gold Rush. That was our champion boar that we had there at Perry, Georgia this last year that I'm very, very high on. Thought that was a remarkable litter of pigs. We have him in that litter, and then we have the boar that we retain there at Savage, we refer to as Chippewa. This is their litter mate sister. And we were fortunate to have 4 or 5 of those litter mate sows that we kept and bred. This one here, she got bred to Hairy Bear. She's due there in January, and as Jesse alluded to earlier, as he was discussing his, not every litter of pig has to be born, there the first week of December. And I think those of you that fits that time frame, or if you're actually after the pedigree or after the value of the pedigree, I'm just going to tell you that this right here is one of the best that we can put together that we're working with right now. And this is a great opportunity to tap into one of the good females that we have. Speaking of that, I want to bring attention Mindy 255-4 that you see there. The mother of this one I'm going to talk about here in a moment, but you need to know that she is a direct daughter of Jackie 1912 that we just talked about. Mindy herself would be a litter mate to Smoke Signal. And then we bred Mindy to End Zone, which was the popular boar there stood at Purple Power to make that litter that we have here. Real proud of this one. Again, she's bred to Hairy Bear. I think endless potential here. You can do what you want to. Lot 107, another special lot that we have that we're offering. And this one here, those of you that were in Louisville, Kentucky there last week might have seen this one or a couple of weeks ago. The Platte Boys obviously had this one. This is a Smoke Signal daughter. Her mother's out of the sow we refer to as Vimo. That's one that come from, we originated from John Veach and his family there. And that's how we brought her in. She's done a terrific job for us. Not only is she the mom of this champion gilt here, she would actually be the grandmother of Alpha, which was the Autry boar that stood there, a premium blend. And I can tell you, I'll touch on those in a minute, but we're real high on our alphas. I know Jesse used that boar as well to a great deal. And I mean, we seen good things there, good crossover all the way. This gilt here is a special one. And I'll tell you straight up, I have no intention to do what we're doing right now. But with the request, the ask, the text, the phone calls that I had about this one after she showed, we thought that this would be very fitting to offer this one in this particular event. But we're going to do something. I'm going to encourage you to read through the write-up there on Lot 107. And if you're interested in buying, she is going to be on a buy now option on Tuesday. And the way we're going to do that is that will open up at noon Eastern time on Tuesday. She has a set price, and that price will be at $15,000. And then as the day progresses, if there's not a bid at that price will move periodically throughout the day. And the first person to bid on this one that clicks the button to bid, you are buying now at the said price. So I think it's a unique opportunity. Something that I would encourage you that if you have interest, feel free to reach out, talk to me more in depth about. Great female, great pedigree. It's all proven. I'm going to tell you the Smoke Signals are going to live long term throughout our industry. This is going to be for the serious inquirers, I guess is what I'm going to try to say. But we're going to offer this one, and you've got a chance on Tuesday. So
one thing to add on on this one is something new that we're doing is we've actually partnered with Spencer Malcolm, Producers Edge Insurance. We actually have taken out a insurance policy on this female for $15,000. Once you, the buyer of this gilt, that insurance policy will actually be transferred to you and will be or for 1 year from the date that we did it. We just did this policy last week, so you'll be able to have an insurance policy on her that we've paid for that's transferred to you, just like it was your insurance policy for the next year of this gilt's life.
I'll touch back on a couple of our other lots here before we get off, but it moves us into our last lot, and this is lot 109. This is the board that we refer to as Tonto. I said all along that I was going to wait until one was very, very special before I used that name, and all I can say is, this is the one. It was time to bring it out. Tano is a young boar that we've got there. We're just getting started and going. He's a 345, and then his mother would be Mindy. That's the 255 4 sow. So I talked about the influence of what the 213s were last time, and this one comes along. He comes along from a very, very special litter. It's the best litter of pigs that we've ever raised, not only from a standpoint visually, but for us genetically, for what we want to do. Like I said, we use 345 on Smoke Signal Sister. I mean, for us being able to do that, that is as much power as we can put into one. And anybody that knows me knows that's what we're after and going to chase. But the boar himself would be a brother to some gilts that many of you would have seen this year. Dallas Martinez started the summer off with one that was a top 5 gilt there at the Expo. She had a remarkable year all along. I know she was the grand overall there at the Pan Am show at the Texas State Fair. I don't know how many times she's won her class, won her breeds, whatever. That gilt had a remarkable show career, made her way back to the farm, and I mean, just very, very impressive there in the gilt pens. And then JD Davis had another litter mate, and that gilt, obviously, I think she won every time she showed in a Hampshire show ring. From the time she started jackpotting all the way through, she was the champion there at the Southwest Regional. She won our state fair. She won Tulsa State Fair. She won the American Roll. And then every time, I think she was at least a top 3 overall, as well. And it's been a remarkable litter. But it also, what I can tell you about this guy is, obviously, as Jesse alluded to earlier, as dominant as 345 has been, for the industry to this point, I am equally as proud of the dam side of this one and putting him together and what I think that he can do. We are stingy. We the way that we do it, because the number of sows we breed. This boar is going to be utilized by obviously Savage, by Heimer Hampshires, and our buddy Brent Bolin and the guys there at High Point. We're all going to use him. But what we have decided that we will do is we are going to offer one time on this sale. You'll have a chance to buy, and you're going to buy semen by the dose, and we're not going to put any limitations on it. So as an additional breeder, we're going to allow you to, whatever you pay per the dose, you tell us how many doses you're going to want to use, and that's what you're going to pay for. So you're basically going to have an opportunity to be our fourth utilizer in this particular standpoint of this boar. So we're going to give you from January 1 through the end of May. You have the rights to use Tonto. And all I'm going to say, I mean, everybody can say it says cliche and everything else, but if you want to make giant strides, I think sometimes you got to jump out there and do things to be a little different and swing for the fence. I know little different, being different, Blake's biggest motto. And I'm not going to tell you I've seen all of them in the world, but I ain't never seen one. This one right here is legitimately different. So I'll probably wrap it up with that in terms of Tonto. We're real proud of the offering. There's some sows in there I would encourage you to look at that we didn't talk on the slide. Particularly, I will say that I bent the rules once on Jesse's deal. Lot 103, she has absolutely no HH influence, and she doesn't, nor does the litter she's carrying. That particular sow, though, I would encourage you to look at her, lot 103. She would be an end zone daughter again out of our bullseye sow that we sold in the collectors last year. Is what she is, and then we bred her to doing business. So those of you that are pedigree junkies and want to chase something different, that particular litter has no danger zone, no top gun, there's no hands down, nothing in there. So from a versatility standpoint, I think that's very, very special. We also have lot 105 Goldie. That would be a litter mate to Pocahontas, the $28,000 gilt that won last summer there, that is now at the Gibson Girls there in Ohio. So very, very proud of our offering all the way up and down. If you've got any questions, feel free to reach out. I know I can speak on both behalves in that regard. We want to talk to you about them. And most and first and foremost, but the last lot, I do have one more I need to talk on. Should have probably put the picture. Not sure why Blake didn't. Lot 108, we are selling a pair of littermate sisters. They're open gilts. We walked them out. Those littermate gilts would be alphas, as we talked about a moment ago. The Borat Premium Blend back on Arrowhead's littermate sister. And we kept those gilts, run some of them out, took you a picture of them. You have an opportunity to buy 2 gilts out of our keeper pen.
Is there anything you haven't talked about yet?
Yeah.
Click the pin.
Which one?
I've talked about all the gilts. There's a lot more I can
yeah.
talk about.
Okay.
Well, I think with that, that kind of wraps up this episode of Before the Bid. We're going to put above the video and below the video, wherever you watch it, will be all the contact information for both the Heimer crew as well as the Savage crew. We hope that you enjoyed this episode. The more that we do this, I can tell you, the more enjoyable that it is, just actually being able to sit down and break down the lots and getting to listen. I encourage you to go to showpig.com and read the footnotes, study the pedigrees, look at the other lots. I think we brushed through 24 to 26 lots. I think that there's actually closer to 70 lots that's being offered into the sale. So I encourage you to look at everything, look at the entire sale, and then reach out to the staff of each location, as well as the sale consultants. I know Jim McCoy's on there, as well as several others. So encourage you to reach out, ask questions, and actually talk to the individuals. It feels like in a time right now that we're in the industry, that we provide so much information for individuals that you don't need to call and ask questions. But that's how you get better and you understand what is happening in the industry, is by talking to the guys that's actually selling them. And that's something that still needs to happen as we go forward. I know we've talked about it before on Before the Bid. The biggest reason for doing that is to create a conversation piece, not talk about every lot, still require you to actually reach out. So with that, I think, Jesse, if you want to close us out, and we'll go to dinner.
Yeah, appreciate that, Blake. Just a couple quick reminders. Yes, Jim McCoy is a consultant. He's actually here at the farm right now going through our offering. There'll be a few other folks that'll be here over the next 36 hours, I guess, that'll get a chance to see him, and we can provide that feedback on Facebook and social media. The last thing I want to tell you is that Trent Lahr will be here first thing Wednesday morning following the sale to head east. And he will handle all Eastern deliveries that leave from the farm I'm pretty certain that we're going to have a route going north into Iowa and further points north. And then everything else, we're going to have to go case by case with our third-party haulers that are listed on the site. So historically, we've had more questions about delivery than the actual pigs. Rest assured that we'll do our very best to get these on wheels as quickly as we can. Really appreciate the opportunity to talk through them. Blake and Todd, if you've got questions, please reach out. But we look forward to our 4th annual Showcase the Influence sale on Tuesday, the 25th. That's a couple days from now at showpig.com. Again, this is at Showpig. This is not a live sale. Tune in there on the night of the 25th.